Health and Social Welfare and partners are about to embark on another round of polio immunization. The forthcoming nationwide campaign is billed to run from 23rd to 26th March 2012. Mama J tells us more about the planned activity targeting over 300,000 children aged 5 years and below.
Children from contracting polio through national immunization campaigns is essential for any country's healthcare delivery system. Although the Gambia was declared polio-free by the WHO, authorities believe there is no room for complacency, hence the reason for another round of the NIDs. Polio is a highly infectious disease caused by a virus that affects mainly children under the age of 5. The disease invades the nervous system and causes total paralysis in a matter of hours. Statistics show that 1 in every 200 infections leads to irreparable paralysis, usually in the legs. According to health officials, 5 to 10% of those paralyzed die as a result of the disease. It is against this backdrop that the World Health Assembly, during its 41st meeting in 1988, adopted a resolution advocating for a worldwide eradication of polio. Since then, according to the WHO, polio cases have decreased to about 99% from 350,000 cases to 152 cases in 125 endemic countries in 2010. And the WHO latest report show only 650 polio cases in 2011. In a brief remarks during the orientation ceremony, the program manager, Health Education Unit Yoruba, values his unit's partnership with the media and urged for further support in tackling the disease. Pa Usman Mane of UNICEF hailed the media for their role in the recent campaign. WHO's Mamadou Gassama described 2012 as an emergency year to eradicate polio on the face of Earth. He raised concern over the persistent transmission of the disease in few countries, a situation he said is the current focus of the world.
Afghanistan, Pakistan and Nigeria, these are the only 3 countries in the world where polio is endemic. Endemic means where polio is still troublesome, it's happening all year round. So this is where we are. So we have achieved this very huge success. Can we now wait? Can we just fold our hands to say, this 1% is ill, let's leave? And believe me, this is going to be catastrophic. And as I tell you what WHO says, between 2009 and 2010, polio has been reintroduced in 23 countries that were free of polio before.
The WHO communications officer further stated that the rest of the children in the world stands at risk even if a single child remains infected with polio.
According to what WHO says, is that in the next 5 years, if we are able to eradicate polio, in the next 5 years, the world will save between 40 and 50 billion United States dollars.
Although the disease is incurable, polio can be prevented, given multiple times of the vaccine that can protect a child for life. Mama J, Grts.
The people of Sankandi are far from the beaches that attract tourists to the Gambia, but are also enjoying their share of the benefits of tourism. The villagers recently gathered for the commissioning of a 15,000-litre solar-powered project made possible by efforts of native of Sankandi who was a tourist taxi driver. Moda Jala picks up the rest of that story.
This is the sort of welcome the sponsors of the water project were accorded by residents of the beneficiary village. Seni Manjang, a tourist taxi driver and native of Sankandi, Kiang West, told GRTS he is proud to bring such a development to his home village before thanking the Almighty and the government of the Gambia for ensuring the enabling environment that encouraged me, Bruce, founder of Nyatota Foundation, who is from the Netherlands, and Magloua, who hails from Belgium, to throw their weight behind the initiative. The Sankandi water project was initiated by me, and the funds for the sinking of the borehole were provided by Borealis Water for the World Foundation. The village alcalde, Sutering Dabo, thanks Seni Manjang for coordinating what he called a worthwhile gesture, adding clean water is important to all living things. The alcalde also expressed gratitude to me, Bruce, Mark, members of Nyatota Foundation and Borealis Water for the World Foundation for coming to the aid of his village. The village head, however, appealed for assistance from their benefactors to construct a health facility in Sankandi. Lamin Sano and Lang Nyakasi, who spoke on behalf of the youth of the village, pledged the villagers' resolve to ensure the sustainability of the water facility. Apai Drame and Natoma Drame also added their voices to that of the village Alcalo, saying expectant mothers are especially at risk when they are due to deliver because of the distance they have to cover to reach a health facility. Calls were made for the youth of Sankandi to emulate Seni Manjang, the force behind the village water project. When it was his turn to address the gathering, Maglua, who works for Borealis Chemical Company, said he visited the village of Sankandi a year ago to assess the water needs of the village following a request for assistance from Nyatota Foundation. He said the request received instant approval and subsequent sponsorship. Mark also urged the villagers to make best use of the water facility. Mib Bruce revealed that she started visiting the Gambia some 40 years ago, and she now has a residence in Bruford. She also said that she provides assistance in areas like education, sport and health sector. Mib said she is intervening in the said sectors to keep the memory of her late husband alive.
This project would have been done by the government, but you have relieved the government from another expenditure. It is the desire of the government of the day. Always, if the president goes to meet the people, he always says it is his honor and desire to make sure that everybody in the Gambia live in a standard way, to get water, whatever basic amenities.
Apart from the water project, the donors also handed over 14 bicycles and second-hand clothing to residents of Sankandi. Mamadou Diallo, GRTS.
We go with a very short break now. Stay tuned.
billahi mané dañuy wax 2 weeks bu nek dina am ñoo xamné dinañu win bedroom set boo xamné dafa ànd ak dressing table ba cupboard ba lal bi ak side table ba yépp wala ñu win la mané toogu yoo xamné ñu toogu yu baax yu óor yu dëgër pour saal bi moom la ñoo win billahi Gamcel defati na ko Gamcel defati na ko Gamcel nee na rek billahi Gamcel defati na ko kër la ñuy joxe $100 rek nga xoos dugal ci sa biir mobile wax ci ko soxla ba pare win ci kër tey waay Gamcel defati na ko waay Gamcel defati na ko waay mané kër la ñuy joxe kër ak ay bedroom set ak ay sofa yoo xam ne yi kenn mënu la ko wax ci taaru ci rafet tey Gamcel.
Welcome back. Guinea-Bissau's 600,000 plus voters will head to the polls Sunday to elect a new president following the death of former leader Malang Bekai Sanya. The electorate will choose among a wide field of candidates who are hopeful of becoming the country's next president. Ruling party candidate and former Prime Minister Carlos Gomez Jr. is the frontrunner in a 9-man race. We have details in this report.
It was the final day of campaigning for the presidential election in Guinea-Bissau. A carnival atmosphere has taken hold of the capital. Flags and music fill the streets. Authorities have reported few incidents of unrest. Tomorrow, 600,000 voters will choose from among 9 candidates the successor to President Malang Bekai Sanya, who died in December. The ruling party candidate and front-runner is the former Prime Minister Carlos Gomez Jr.
Our goal is to win the election in the first round, because our party is a great party. It fought for and liberated this country. We have a certain responsibility towards the people.
But Mr. Gomez Jr.'s candidacy has been rejected by 2 major figures in the party, Manuel Serifo Hamajo, interim president of the National Assembly, and Bakiro Dia, the Minister of Defense. Among Mr. Gomez Jr.'s rivals is former President Kumba Yala. Elected in 2000, Mr. Yala was removed from power in a coup d'etat 3 years later. He stood for president again in 2005 and 2009 and was both times defeated.
None of these candidates can win 50% of the votes in the first round. It will be very difficult. No one can win it, so a second round must be held.
The election is a test for the country, which in spite of economic progress is notorious for political corruption linked to narcotics, which has made it a